My video went off. Sorry about that. Anyway, I was showing this little statue down there, figurine of a woman, a Spanish woman with a basket of fruit that my English teacher, close friend of my mother, and very dear friend to me also, especially after my mother died. Juanita never had children. She was married, but I really should have done more for her at the end of her life. But there were two women who were in Shakespeare Club with her, who really were right in there. Juanita had a lot of money. You get the drift. And I didn't want anything to do with it. And when I would come to visit Juanita, those two people would be there, women would be there, and were tricky women with me. And so I just didn't go. And Juanita had memory issues, had dementia, Alzheimer's or something. So I figured I would see her when we're both in heaven, or she'll understand what she is on the other side, the situation. And those two women made out well financially. I don't do that to people. I don't suck up on them or leech on them when they are dying, expecting anything, and I wasn't going to get into a girl fight with these two other women who were at the time, they were a good 10 years older than me. I just wasn't going to do it. Too demeaning, and I did not like it for Juanita, but she was happy to have someone, and I know she would have loved me there, but it was going to be too awkward. I was like a daughter to her, and these other two women were doing their thing, and I see through things, and I felt it, and little comments they would make at me when I would come to visit her, and I wouldn't be able to go in alone with her, and I went once, and that was it. So if Juanita's hearing now, I'm sorry. I've told her I'm sorry I didn't go visit her more. She wouldn't have remembered at the time, but I still felt. One time she did. She said, "Where have you been?" I went to a birthday party for her 100th birthday. And and at that, these two women were going on and on. It was like a going around the table how they knew Juanita. And they wanted to make it seem like, they knew her best. Got into that. I just can't stand that kind of stuff. Ugh, I'm sure none of you can like it either. Or you wouldn't be even ever listening to my type of personhood. But no. So I knew Juanita would understand eventually. And nothing to me is worth money to act like that or to be like that. And my mom and dad, I was very close to them and did a lot, but so did my sisters. I mean, it was all split evenly. My parents had helped me with my children. I think one sister was very bothered by it. Maybe the other one a little, I don't know. Not much. She's very independently wealthy, so it didn't. But I don't like to get into competition with people. I just don't. So I built up the sister that was a little bothered, and I felt that my parents did a lovely thing helping me at times. And not a tremendous amount, but for me it was a tremendous amount, but not compared to, I think, what my sister thinks. But I was so thankful that they did have their trust split equally. My dad did forgive a loan when he died. He said, forgive Joan's loan. I owed them about $8,000. That's a house I'd gotten into that was bad, that I tried to get out of, but the realtor hadn't checkmarked the proper box. So I got it all fixed up, though. It looked beautiful for the next person. I try to do everything for the glory of God. And this fireplace is quite the challenge. God is giving me a very good challenge. And I have to be very careful with my back, so just hope Sean gets here fairly soon, or maybe he can come tomorrow with help with the tile. If not, maybe next weekend. I mean, he has weekends off, but he's going to work. He's going to want a little time for himself, but he's a saintly soul. Sean is a very saintly young man. So please pray for him with this job, that it works out well with him, and that the other people can grasp that they're in the midst of a very holy young man, but and very, very sincere, very sensitive, but very bright. And it can be a problem for people to be around someone who's that good. I've noticed it with him, that it's hard for people who aren't just great souls to, but he, I mean, he has his flaws, and he's the first to admit it. So he can get stayed in his way, but he's very bright. And if he gets an idea, you know, it can always be a very good and right idea, and people don't necessarily like that. So anyway, life and people. But I'm telling you, and I try to tell the daughter here, because she's a minimalist, don't strip everything out, because something could happen to her body, and she wouldn't have her pickleball to do. And especially when old, people can become very peevish and tetchy when they are bored. And then they come to someone like me, who's doing all these things, bothered by the mayhem going on, and that it's slow, because they hire people to do everything for them, or you know, have someone in their family do it. Like my grandma has lots of people doing things for her. But my point is, and I explained to them, I'm supposed to be the one doing it. People get down on my kid. Where are your kids? You know, they should be here doing this. What are you doing this? This is HOA men 3 years ago. No, I'm to be doing these things, so I won't be paralyzed from the waist down and still have the pain and be in bed. And how am I going to pay for care for conceivably 7 more years or something if I'm in bed and not risking my life more? Hasten my death. No, I'm not trying to hasten it. But, yeah, so they just don't understand. But underneath it all, I've realized these women are bored. And they see me doing all these things. They want to be able to, oh, well, I've gotten rid of all my things, and my possessions could fit in one room compared to all yours. And no, she's got lots of furniture. Well, maybe. Depends on the size of the room. I guess we didn't mention that. But, and what a dumb thing to boast about. It's great. It's fine. And hermits in the desert didn't have their huts piled with books, and they didn't have a lot of statues around. I do. I've had a lot of people give me beautiful things for safekeeping, and I treasure them. And I have things around that remind me, like Juanita over there, or my great grandmother's, my grandmother's, but she had it from the one line of the family. You can barely see it's just tipped upside down, but it's a very old hand-blown type of little tiny compote vase. Or like, this compost there, that when I sent my parents to take my children to Hawaii, after I came into a little money one time back in 1990. And I thought my parents should have a trip and something nice, a thank you from me. And I wanted my children to be able to have a trip, fun, away from their sick mom. And of course, while they were gone, I had a doozy of a pain siege. But the one daughter who's here, she brought back these shells for me. Big basket of shells. She wanted to bring something back for Mom. She's always been very thoughtful. So I keep them in there. She's forgotten, but I keep them in the old compote. My mother used to put colored popcorn balls in there at Christmas time, red and green and white. It was fun. And then later on, some glass balls that she had gotten at a trip to Virginia, somewhere they had, Williamsburg, I think, a glass blowing factory. She got red, green, and blue, and gold ones, and these glass balls kept in there. So memories. I don't mind memories. I'm praying for the person, and thanking my mom for the wonderful childhood and for the working all day and then making popcorn balls for us at Christmas and many other things that she did. She would stay up late sewing Christmas pajamas for us and all kinds of stuff. So memories to me are an opportunity for prayer and to express love, especially to people who have gone on before us. So a lot of things I can get rid of. And I'm going to try to sell things, and what I don't sell, I'm going to send it with the grandmother, because she goes to the thrift shop every week shopping and looking at things. So that's fine. That's a hobby for her. But she then recollects things, I guess. I don't know what the point was, but at times, things are said that people get funny when we get old, odd, peevish, and myself included. So just thoughts that I've had about, is it really better to strip ourselves down and then go sort of in a way cause someone else to try to think of things for them to do, because they insist on wanting to come. She can't wait till she gets back well, maybe not now with her ankle. I took her, she lost her hearing aid, and I found it in this mess and took it to her this morning before she left, because Sean said she was very, very upset and in a mode. He was just trying to keep her calm down there. So I took it, he was going to come over. I said, no, you stay there, I'll bring it. So the dogs had a little walk and dragged me around, but yeah, it's like that beautiful Madonna. You can't. I'll show it to you. That was at an auction of my high school English teacher, my senior English teacher. My mother was my sophomore teacher. Juanita was junior, and Joanne Rose Humbarger Fisher was my senior AP teacher, and this was at her auction. Also, there was a gorgeous statue of the Virgin Mary, but the bidding went too high. An antique dealer was bidding against me, so I gave up. But this, I just love that. And somebody thought that she maybe had painted this. I don't think, but it's very beautiful, and it reminds me of her. I had no idea. I mean, she did love, we did the Divine Comedy by Dante, all three, and she loved that. But she went to my Methodist church, but a lot of Protestants love Catholicism secretly. But most Protestants would never have the Virgin Mary hanging on their wall, or a beautiful statue of the Virgin Mary either. So that impressed me. And I like to think of her with that. And at some point, yes, I'll hopefully I'll die in the townhome or before I even go. But otherwise, if I'm in a nursing home in one room with another person, I won't be able to take a lot of stuff. And I don't need it. I'm detached from it, but I enjoy it. A lot of it's been boxed up since 2012, when I had to leave the one house because I couldn't get anything out on the island. It was just total renovation, and here I haven't had things out except in this room. I unpacked the books and I got the statues out, but I didn't hang things on the walls in this house because I was still busy renovating it. Still, this room still needs to be painted. Well, that wall over there is painted one coat, but it used to be sort of this peach. It's a peach color, and the ceiling, you can sort of see it's pinkish orange. So I'm just changing the tone, but at least this room was light, not like the upstairs room that was hot pink, and it took me 3 coats of primer. Oh, look, Mercy brought a little bowl. Want me to throw it? Want me to throw it? So, people, I don't know if humility is always linked with not having things around. It can lead to pride also. Anything can become prideful. It's very prideful to say, well, I've got so little, but boasting about that then, and you've got so much, So we can be proud over anything. It's maybe I'm being proud having stuff and thinking about someone else who got rid of her stuff and is bored now. Maybe I'm being proud, realizing what a kind of silly hole to be in. Because honestly, I was just right here yesterday, and down came 5 pieces of tile at once. Or is that 4? 1, 2, 3. No, I think 4. 4 big heavy pieces of tile on a heavy piece of sheetrock. So right on her ankle, she was standing down there, and I was down here prying off, and before only like 1 or even a half a piece would come off, boom, that whole thing came down and hit her little ankle. And she's a tiny lady, so I was very concerned. I was all night concerned for her, and this morning, but what can you do? She wouldn't let me see it. She refused to sit down. Didn't want to talk. So people handle things differently, but I realize I don't really have anything left for her to do that's safe, or that she could do, like trim work. I mean, obviously not up on a ladder. Sean's here. Back to work. God bless you all. Let's think about these things. The way we can be proud when we think we're being humble. It's a real trap for all of us.